the alignment of the pandemic, um, and the stats on it though. That's the part. The stats. Everybody's in the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why was there not a decrease in the months of March, April, May of police related homicide?
Man.
If everybody's in the house, how the hell does that number stay consistent? And everything else dropped. The crime rate as a whole had lessened. We talked about domestic violence and suicide being numbers being up, but that's a direct variable of people being in the house. Another direct variable of people being in the house is like there's no one to police, right? Nah. Damn. But and so part of what I wrote this past week was, what I need help processing why now, because I occupy entirely too many different types of spaces where these conversations either never entertained. I don't. I'm not. I don't get the gig based on how. And this is directly from companies and agencies and different groups that I've attempted to partner with. It's a little too militant for what we're trying to say. Huh? And so so for me and this I'm getting to year 10, fellas. I'm pretty close. So for 10 years of dedicating my life to this and nothing else, to sit in meetings and be told it's a little too militant, it's a little too aggressive for what we're trying to do, for the world, for the pendulum of the world to swing. And some of those same companies that told me that made statements this week.
Yeah,
I was like,
those statements
ooh.
been nasty too.
I was like, it hit a little different for me personally, and this is not the time to personalize it. I understand, but I just want to offer a little context as to why I'm like, everybody's full of shit. The NFL, disgusting. Some of these record labels, disgusting.
Power to brother, I think it was Brendan something, but the guy that brought the idea to Thomas for the Saints.
Michael Thomas
brought the idea to Michael Thomas to shoot the clips for that video.
Oh, so Michael Thomas was the catalyst for that.
Yeah, so he was the initial person that he reached out to. He's like, I have this idea. I really want to see if you would be in on it. If you guys, brought this up, because I think it's disgusting because that the NFL has yet to say anything. Like, there's been nothing.
Yeah.
So the guy brought that to Michael Thomas, and then it was within like 2 hours that he started getting them back from the running back from
Saquon,
Saquon, and then
Odell,
Ezekiel Elliott, and all that. Odell, and then the large domino to fall was Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Once they had Patrick Mahomes, they were supposed to have the quarterback for the Ravens as well, but he never got it in for the time when they put it in or whatever. But that was a large domino, because then if Patrick Mahomes never jumped on board, there would have been still no statement from the NFL
at all. The face of your league, the face of your league is speaking out. But here's why I salute those players, and ultimately am highly disappointed in the players that are a little bit older than them, because that sort of unity that they displayed,
that quick,
and Cap, with the exception of a few cats around the league, was essentially left out to dry, because everyone was concerned about their next game check or whatever. Like, oh, I want to, like, yo, and then ESPN letting go, parting ways with Jamel, Mike Smith. Y'all can tell me y'all didn't fire him. I ain't seen him, so something happened to Mike Smith. But now they're a 24/7 news cycle for social injustice now.
Yeah.
Excuse me? All y'all are sick.
They didn't have some wild topics, some wild
Bruh.
conversations on there that will never hit.
Man.
Like we wasn't playing like when we said that Walt Disney is turning
In his grave right now.
Bro, to hear them back black bodies where they're backing black bodies right now,
Man.
Walt Disney is losing his otherworldly mind right now. That nigga about to hunt everybody, bro. He about to hunt the whole ESPN studio over this shit.
Man.
But but real life, man, that and actually, and even further, it took Pat Mahomes to win a championship for that to take place. Because Pat Mahomes, baby, without winning a championship, you can still not make a statement about the NFL. But the level that he's at this moment opened up the door for them to have to say something.
Absolutely.
And it was Goodell that said something, which is nuts. Like they had a statement, and then he got in his basement on his camera and talked. So I was like, that's nuts to me.
I haven't been able to figure out quite what to do with any of it. Because then,
people are stuck in the house, Marty. People are stuck in the house.
Man.
They are stuck in their thoughts. Other people's thoughts are way more impactful than they usually are because you don't have the distractions. So, like, topics are way larger than they usually are. This whole Drew Brees thing.
Yeah.
Like,
shit.
when a topic hits, it's way larger than normal because there's nowhere to hide. Like, you can't go to the clubs. You can't go to no high-end restaurants. You can't go dip off to some island somewhere, and you can go nowhere but take this shit straight on.
In 2016, Drew Brees said exactly the same thing he said the other day.
Bro.
Like verbatim.
Yeah.
No, I'm not making that shit up. In 16, he said the exact same thing. And I went, oh, this is disgusting. And I haven't fucked with Drew Brees since. And everybody just kept pushing the Saints. Everybody's fuck the Saints. And Drew Brees since 16 because he said the same bullshit behind what Cap was saying. It's like, oh, you full of it. Because he wasn't even, the fucked up thing about Drew Brees is he wasn't even saying it to be on some insensitive shit, just how much money he's made in being in alignment with the military. Bruh's been raking in the dough of being the face of football in their relationship with the military.
Sounds about right.
Same reason the NFL was like, it didn't have nothing to do with systemic racism, so silencing voices. They are getting a bag from marketing the military.
The NFL has to be like one of the largest enterprises for representing the shield, representing the flag. Them two in alignment has to make a crazy bag. It's year after year after year, that bag alone. And it's all exploitation.
All of it.
Regardless of what you want to say, when you align the flag with social issues, like when you say you're only representing the flag and you should never disrespect it, stuff like that, it's a blinder to the actual social issues that are going on within the U.S. and it lets you know that you've capitalized off the fact that you don't have to pay attention to social issues. Like as you've gone through life this entire time, and as you're going to teach your children, and your children's going to teach their children, how this thing continues on for years and years to come, is that you never pay. You turn your head to problems that are actually happening on your soil,
yes, sir.
And then just extend that energy that you should have brought to your own soil to exterior soils. So you take all that energy that you should have been fighting about this, and then you go over to a whole other country, and you believe that the reason why we're invading that country has something to do with protecting us over here when we should actually be protecting people on our own soil. We got to get that shit first. You know what I mean? But we push our energy elsewhere. And it sucks, you know what I mean? Because, a lot of times we go to, and this is blasphemous and shit to say, but a lot of times we go to other places and we fuck up their everything that they got on going over there. Unless it's like fucking, apartheid. I don't know.
But even then. What was taking place in South Africa was a direct variable of what had existed here.
True.
there's no way for other countries around the world to for black people in those countries to be liberated and free if the quote unquote free nation, the whatever they were calling America then, because it ain't that now. The smartest people, the most talented people, the wealthiest country. And man, this is some bullshit, and it always has been, and even then. And so when the country everybody's looking to as an example, when the people that built it are still being oppressed and none of it has been acknowledged, when everybody else has received some sort of reparations for their people's suffering and everything, anti-Semitic statements, anti-native language is approached differently, anti-Asian, anything, everybody, anti LGBTQ conversations is like are promoted in our faces.
We got an acronym.
Did we?
Yeah.
What we get?
BIPOC.
Oh shit.
Black Indigenous People of Color.
Change might be here then.
We out here, bro.
We got an acronym.
We
for
need
real?
an acronym, bro. Once we got an acronym, it's a wrap.
Wait. It was only because we didn't have an acronym,
bro. Black Indigenous People of Color, bro.
BIPOC.
Yep.
Shout out to Pac for being in our. He had to
feel
be.
me.
We're sick. Oh man.
Feel me? Now we finally got some representation. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we just needed an acronym. That's what it was.
We've been waiting the longest for an acronym, man.
Damn. Change might be here for real, y'all.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. It's a new day. We just better keep this energy.
Hey, is the world back open? If you got to go back in your office tomorrow, we got an acronym. Go flip over the desk.
Hey, no bullshit. You see some papers on the desk, go flip that shit.
Flip that shit over.
You know what I'm saying?
We got an acronym now. You can get away with murder. I didn't know we had an acronym. That's crazy.
We got one, bro. Fuck with us, man.
Oh man. Is there much more for us to say and to discuss, G? Did you see anything new? I don't have any. Like I said, 16 Drew Brees said the exact same thing.
It's just that there's been no sports. So the fact that there's been zero sports, this is like a salivation moment for everybody that speaks sports, which is nuts. They've had zero material until the NBA came back, and Drew Brees talked out of turn. Yeah, like it just.
And that's why everybody's full of shit, because he said the exact same thing.
And Jake Fromm had a situation too.
Yeah, but his is from a tweet from.
Oh, they're pulling
up everything.
But somebody leaked that shit. Like that was a text message to another person, so they just brought that shit to the front. They put that shit in a tweet.
And so my point there with why now? Where were you years ago? When so none of it feels genuine to me. So like
my only problem with the whole thing is just that we shouldn't condemn we shouldn't condemn people's efforts regardless of what you think the effort should be. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I just have a problem with, if you're protesting, you getting at somebody that is not protesting. Yep. Or something like that. Like, you don't know what people's energy are for what they're doing or how they're presenting it or how they are doing it. Like, the only way to become alliance with whatever movement, there's not just one way. Like, it isn't just the marching and protesting and being out there all day. That's a big part of it. That's important. That's something that we need folks to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? But there's other things that need to be done all at the exact same time. Yeah. And a lot of that can get lost in the initial emotional connection to things.
And that's what I want to give everyone right now a lot of credit for, is for as much as that rhetoric that is spewed when people trying to do that bullshit, there immediately is defense of enough of people to make a wave to go, no. Our fight against oppression looks a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. And I've been so, and that was part of why I was so, I'm leaning more towards being proud of everyone right now because of how many angles this is being hit from. Like while people are marching, um, wealthy black people are donating to specific causes and giving specific resources to specific groups to then be empowered to go do more work. Like it's happening in ways it's never happened before because it's always these miscellaneous ass groups to donate to. No. We know exactly who to give our funds to now. So you got people marching, you got people protesting, you got people donating, generating funds, and then you got the black militia out here moving crazy.
Man.
The black militia out here sick with it.
Mm-hmm.
So sick that the KKK is like, all right, enough of this shit. Y'all pussy, bro. I ain't
Super.
gonna hold you.
Super.
KKK, y'all so pussy, bro. Y'all been quiet, and y'all really don't want no smoke.
Bro, the best shit that ever came out, man, because everything's branded now. You know what I mean? So like the best shit is that racism is little dick energy. Bro, start telling everybody that's racist, bro. You just little dick energy.
Oh my
Bro,
god,
I bet that's more damaging to them than any
Than anything.
comeback that you could possibly have. That's just little dick energy.
than anything, brother. Just to see the Confederate statues be defaced and be taken down like that, bro. It's like, yo, we in a real revolt, and I think that and the hard part to hear was some of the calls from Alabama yesterday, when because several of their Confederate statues in Birmingham, in Montgomery were taken down, right, and rightfully so, but the city, those towns were shutting down in fear of the retaliation of the KKK. And so I want people to think about that when they're still struggling and still having a hard time wrapping their minds around racism and how that is infiltrated and spread throughout our school systems, our employment forces, our military, our policing, our housing, our food and hospitality industries, our music industries, all these different industries, and everybody's still confused. For anyone that's still confused on that, the fact that in 2020 the KKK can still be quote unquote activated and generate that level of fear in 2020, we're talking about. There hasn't been any attempt to completely eradicate these people, the Aryans and the neo Nazis and them whole ass niggas that was marching in Dockers and button ups with tiki torches. Man, if you don't get your ass out of here,
I ain't gonna lie to you, Money. A lot of times they be hauled up in locations that niggas don't want to be in anyway.
facts.
Like they be in Idaho, bro. Like I can't go to Idaho and get y'all this energy, bro. Like I did that when I was in college one day. I'm good. Like,
Bro,
like,
I started thinking about some of the places I was in college and how dangerous that was, and I just like it was gonna have to be what it was gonna be. But something as simple as going to the gas station, like literally in places that the KKK was still active, like multiple times, in certain outskirts of Oregon and Idaho, like you mentioned, and Washington, and like, bruh, like this shit's still real for real, and no one said anything. It's just like we just keep going along and not
shit. Don't let Boston off the hook.
Oh, Boston.
Don't they in that motherfucker. They ain't gonna act like they ain't hauled up in there somewhere, man. They give you a lot of lip service, but best believe they can get activated in that area too.
Man.
Boston lit though, man. Boston lit.